Hi! Welcome to another drama review video. So today I'm gonna talk about the latest drama I've watched, which is Love Area Part 1, which is a BL drama from Thailand with 6 episodes of 45 minutes. The story in itself is nothing really special, nothing really coming out of the ordinary. It's about a guy who meets another guy and more precisely a rich guy who meets a poor guy. You can't make more normal than this for Dramaland. So really it's almost just what it comes down to. It's kind of enemy to a lover kind of story, but at the same time not completely, but I think I would put it in this category for this one. So yeah, actually there's not much to summarize about it. Really, they just encounter for the first time in a bad situation. So they don't really feel good about each other, but then they are forced to work in the same place, and yeah, they start to learn more about each other there. So for the characters, like every BL story, I think, there's two couples. So the first one, the main one, is Kaitun and Valen. Based on the summary I read online about this drama, Valen gets his name because he was born on Valentine's Day, but I don't think they say it. They mention it in the 6 episodes, so maybe they do in the second part, because I don't think it's there. He's someone who's never fallen in love before, and again in the summary online it says it doesn't get the love from his parents. So we don't really delve into that too much in the first part, but it's kind of there anyway. And from what we can see, he's used to get into problematic situations. Really, he seems to be a lot of trouble of a guy. And he's really imperfect. I want to state that right now before I forget, because I feel like it's very rare to see such an imperfect guy in a drama being the main lead also. Because main characters always have flaws, but it's always kind of flaws that are not really flaws or are okay flaws, so you're like, yeah, he's still perfect, you know. But this guy, oh no. Sometimes you're like, oh my god, stop acting like that, you know. So I actually enjoyed that, even if I don't necessarily enjoy his flaws, at least he has some, so I really like that. Next we have Kaitun. So Kaitun is just the typical poor guy. He's in university, he has absolutely no money, so he has to work for himself, so to pay for his living, for his fees for university. So it's really, yeah, that's it. There's nothing too much else to say about it, except that it's really hard working, of course, but it's also really nice. But I'd say it's a bit forgetful too. I think I must precise that, and I'm gonna say why. Because usually in Dramaland, I'm never really with the second guy. You know, when there's a triangle, I'm almost always with the first guy. So this drama was no exception. I was like, just stop with this guy, you know, just go to the first guy. We don't care about him. And at some point though, I did feel really bad for the second guy. Without revealing too much, Kaitun kind of forgets him twice in the story, and first time I was just embarrassed, you know. I was laughing and I was like, oh my god, poor guy. But second time, oh man, I felt really, really bad for him. One was awkward enough, but twice, oh my god. Then we have the second couple that we don't really see much, and they're not really developed either. So there's not much to say about this second couple, and it's hard to say anything if I don't want to spoil anything. So All I can say is you kind of know there's a reason for what happened, but I think that the reason they gave was a bit... not such a good reason, but anyway, it's not really important anyway, because, as I said, they are not really developed. But still, I think the story is still kind of interesting. I mean, I kind of like King. I don't know, I find King pretty cute, like, there's something with King. Anyway, so that's for the big lines. How much I gave this drama? I gave it a 7.5 out of 10. Why? So really, like I said, the story is nothing really coming out of the ordinary. It's something really, really classic, traditional. So this drama is by no means perfect. Honestly, I almost dropped it at episode 1 because it took me the longest time to watch just the first episode. It took me a whole day to just finish the first episode because I would pause all the time every 5 minutes and go do something else because I just couldn't get into it. The reason why is simple, because the acting is not it. I've seen worse, but I've seen a lot better too. But what I want to say is, after I actually finished the first episode, I don't know, I kind of started to feel more invested in the story. And sometimes the actors, so I don't know if it's from the actors, the problem is from them, or maybe from the directing. I don't know, I have no idea. But sometimes they act pretty well. So I don't know if, you know, they are probably rookie actors, I think. So maybe they can act some things well and some other things not very well. So, but sometimes it's okay. Later on, I kind of got sucked into the story, and I don't know, it's really, like I said, a classical story, nothing coming out of the ordinary. The acting is really so-so, but for some reason I was still really into it. I wanted to know what was going to happen next, and I'm still looking forward to it. Like, I'm waiting for the part 2 now. That's why I like to give a chance, because even sometimes when like I said, when the quality is not that good, when the filming is a bit all over the place, the acting as well, you can still find something you can watch. You know, it's not necessarily something to throw out the bin right away. Or maybe I'm just really tolerant. I don't know, maybe anyone would have dropped it, but from comments I read on internet, apparently it did that for a few people as well, who thought, oh my god, what I'm getting into, and then they were like, well, I'm actually waiting for part 2, really looking forward to it. So yeah, it might be kind of a sign that it's not completely bad. Two other things I wanted to mention is, first, in a drama like this, I don't think you expect such kiss scenes. I have to say it because honestly, at some point there's a kiss scene, and wow, wow, really, I was not prepared. I was shocked. Like, at what time such a drama has such a kiss scene? Well, I'm not complaining. So that's just a kind of anecdote. It doesn't make the story any better or anything. But yeah, it's always nice. Another thing that's a bit difficult with this story is the fact that a lot of it seems quite unrealistic. It's often the case in Dramaland. It's like things happen, but they don't really make sense. That like it wouldn't just happen in real life. It's like I said, it's not realistic, and of course a lot of happen in this one. I think it's not really a surprise, because usually dramas like this often come as a package. Like, a lot of things don't really go well. So yeah, be prepared for that, because sometimes you're kind of like cringing in front of the drama, because you're like, but that doesn't make sense. This doesn't happen. Or how do you do that? Or how did it happen? You know, it kind of takes you out of the story, honestly. So this plus the acting is a bit, yeah, really, I think you have to be tolerant to like such a drama. I don't think it's for anyone. I wrote an example that's not going to spoil anything for anyone. It's really just a detail. Let's say at some point where they work, they are setting up this Christmas tree. Not a real one, the plastic one, you know, the plastic one that's just really soft and kind of not heavy. I forgot how you say not heavy. There are 3 people around the tree kind of playing together around it while putting on lights, and the tree starts to fall over, and it falls on Valen, kind of like here on his shoulder. But the other 2 kind of grab the tree while it's falling on him, and then and then you have Valen, who is like holding his shoulder and being like, oh my god, I'm so hurt, like really, he has such an expression like he's so hurt and everything. And then Khaitun take him to the back store, you know, to look at his wound, and here where the tree fell, he has such a huge bruise. And I'm like, okay, first, such a tree falling on your shoulder isn't going to hurt. Maybe if you're really sensitive, it's going, you know, you're just going to feel something fall on you, and yeah, maybe be hurt for like a minute, that's it. But not hurt like that. And second, no one gets a bruise that quickly. If you want a bruise that quickly, you really need to get stuck hard, to be hit hard by something, and it must be really, really painful. Like, it happens sometimes to get a bruise that quickly, but in this kind of situation, there's no way. No way! So that's things that kind of get you out of the story. But I actually took this example because I wanted to mention something else about bruises. At least they are doing something good with the bruises in this drama. Okay, how many dramas have you watched where characters get bruises or cuts, or you know, gruesome injuries? Probably a lot. You know, it happens in every single drama, at least a bruise or a small cut. How many of them carry through the bruises for longer than a day drama time? How many? Because sometimes you're like, you have a big scar there, you were cut by someone with a big sword, and on the next day it's like there's nothing anymore. Just a week later it's completely healed. Like, no. Or you get cut, you get a small cut here, and the next day it's all gone, there's nothing. Sometimes even the same day there's nothing anymore. Well, at least this drama does this well. Like, they had, both of them, the main characters, had bruises on their face, and they stayed for the longest time. Wow, I think it was the first time I saw bruises and cuts take so long to heal. And they actually tried to do it correctly, with the color and everything. It's just a detail, but you never see it. So, you know, sometimes in such low budget drama, not really not high quality drama, you can find. Okay, so that's about it for this review. I have nothing much more to say. In the end, I enjoyed it, despite all the flaws it can have, and despite the fact that I almost dropped it at episode 1 because I really couldn't get into it at all. I think if you're quite tolerant in the sense where you can give tries to really imperfect things and things that that are not really top quality. If you're someone who can give chances to them, I think maybe try it, because you could have a surprise and actually kind of be invested in it, even though there's nothing really much for you to grab your attention, really. I don't know, it did it with me, and as I read online, it did this for some other people too, so it might do it for you. I consider myself picky because after so many dramas I've watched, I consider myself picky, but at the same time, sometimes I can watch the most random things that are really not that good and like it, so you never know. However, if you really don't like poor productions and kind of poor acting too, like I said, I'm not sure it 100% comes from the actors. If you don't like something like that, if you really like your dramas to be kind of neat, a beautiful image, good acting, good directing, everything, definitely I don't recommend this to you, because or you're just gonna drop it really early on, or you're just gonna finish it and destroy it because of how bad it was. So yeah, I think that concludes my review. I didn't think I would have so much to say about such a short drama, but actually I did have a lot of things to say. So yeah, if you've watched it, what did you think of it? Did you actually end up like me and like it? Or did you not like it at all? If you haven't watched, then up to you to know if you should try or not. But yeah, that's it for me. Bye bye!